Happy morning. I'm Avinashi from grade 10. Today I'm going to give a speech on progression of models of motor cars. When you think of the very first car, what do you imagine? Maybe a car made out of tree branches with stone wheels, powered by Flintstones feet, or a quaint little buggy with thin, oversized tires driven by a man wearing a top hat. What did the very first car looks like, and how have they changed over these years? They are probably little different than you think. Steam and electricity power the earliest vehicles in 1700s to 1890s. You may be surprised to find electric vehicles aren't a new concept. The first automobiles actually ran on steam and electricity. You may also be surprised to learn the first vehicle were developed in late 1700s. Those first vehicles were powered by steam. It was an energy source that had been used for many years to power trains. However, it wasn't until the 1870s that steam power became more practical for small vehicles. Despite improvements, there were still a lot of shortcomings. Steam-powered vehicles took a very long time to start up and the range was limited. In early 1800s, inventors around the world began building electric-powered buggies. A few decades later, invented in England and France, created in 1890, William Morrison built the first electric car in the US. The car could go 14 miles per hour and fit 6 people. It was very rudimentary, but it got interest going to America. Mass-produced gas-powered cars cornered the market 1890s to 1930s. While some of the very first cars were powered by steam engines dating back to 1700s, it was Carl Benz in 1885 who invented the first gas-powered car, which he later received a patent for in 1886. Benz's first car had 3 wheels, looked much like an elongated tricycle and sat 2 people. 4-wheeled gas-powered cars were later introduced in 1891. The invention of the gas-powered automobile marked the beginning of vehicular revolution in America. The first car didn't have windshields, door, turn signals, or even a round steering wheel. A far cry from that we have become accustomed to. It can be said that Carl Benz's first gas-powered car was the major catalyst for the production of modern automobiles, as many automakers followed in his footsteps, trying to create their own versions of car. Vehicle features take center stage 1930s. Along with the mass production came new features, some of the first being speedometers, seatbelts, windshields, and rear view mirrors. Believe it or not, the first turn signals weren't added to a car until Buck did it in 1939. That's even after the first car with electric windows and with air conditioning. Then cars started to get fancy with power steering 1951, cruise control 1957, 3-point seat belt 1959, and heated seat 1966. In 1973, Oldsmobile installed the first passenger airbag to their Tornado model. Over 20 years later, in 1998, the federal government required all passenger vehicles to come standard with dual frontal airbags. In the late 80s and early 90s, keyless entry system, electric doors and windows, sunroofs, and CD players began to standard features. This is about the time when technology became a big selling point. Modern vehicle features. This brings us to modern day cars with Bluetooth, hard drive, advanced safety system, GPS, Wi-Fi, and even the ability to parallel park themselves. It seems crazy, but it's true. In the age, cars come standard with features that were once a luxury or didn't even exist at all. And driverless cars that once seemed like something out of the science fiction film are close to being a reality. It's amazing to think how fast cars come where the technology will go down, and with technology advancing, it's more important than ever to keep up with on-road driving techniques to keep those around you safe at all times.
Thank you.